What's up, everybody, and welcome to Now Available, the internet's only streaming service podcast. I am one of your hosts, Adam Howard, and with me, as always, the world's biggest Nicolas Cage fan, Rikki Ettinger.
I don't think I'm the world's biggest Nicolas Cage fan, but I am going to see Longlegs today, though. Later today, I am going.
Later today?
Yep.
Nice.
That is the plan. I'm very excited. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I got.
You don't have a favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Ooh.
You're not a Wicker Man guy?
I didn't love Wicker Man. Honestly, maybe Ghost Rider. When I was sick, I was like out of work for a little bit, so I was just watching. Like, you just put on mindless shit, and I think I watched Ghost Rider like 3 or 4 times. Because I don't know, something about it just like tickled my brain. Like it's so fucking weird and bad. I loved it, and he's nuts. He's also like shredded in that movie.
Now, right here, do you think we'll see Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider in either Secret Wars or Deadpool and Wolverine?
Ooh, yeah. Is there a rumor, or is it true that they're trying to get every Marvel property that like ever existed into Secret Wars?
Oh, is that what's happening? I didn't hear that.
I remember
believe
hearing.
it.
I remember hearing that like a long time ago. Was it like any Marvel movie that has ever happened? They were trying to get those people into Secret Wars. But this was like
It could be.
this was like years ago. Is when I remember seeing something about it.
I mean, we're already getting the X-Men in there, and there's rumors they're going to talk about Ben Affleck's Daredevil and like different random stuff like that in Deadpool and Wolverine. So
See,
I mean, I think there's going to be a decent chance.
I think he would do it too. I don't think he turns down work, so I think he would be like, "Hell yeah, I'll do it," or however Nicolas Cage talks. Oh, I got to tell you about sorry, I got to tell you about wrestling. How wrestling went. That was my
Oh yeah,
my,
you went to Money in the Bank.
yeah, my big wrestling update. So the first night we went to SmackDown. And we are in row 117, or section 117, row 3. So we're walking.
Oh, so you're pretty close.
Yeah, we're kind of like on the corner. So like the entrance, the entrance is here. We're kind of like here-ish.
Yeah.
We're walking down the aisle, and we get down to the thing, and our seats are zip tied to a barricade, like a fence. And we're like, oh, we're right here. Like, this isn't good. And then this dude who's working on the floor, he comes up and he's like, oh, are you guys right here? And we're like, yeah. He's like, oh, your seats have been moved. And we're like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, we just got to get the guy with the tickets. So we're like, okay. So me and my sister are just standing there kind of weird. And there's 2 other people that were in that row who also are being moved. So they're standing there with us. A couple minutes goes by. And then this dude comes over and he's like, oh, here you guys go. And he gives us 2 tickets, like actual physical tickets. And he like shows us where we're going. We're in the first row. Like there's like the floor seats and then it goes into like the stands, I guess, or like we're in the first row just off to the right. So if you watch SmackDown on Hulu, the episode where they're in Toronto, and every time it goes to the wide shot, just off to the left, you'll see me. I have my Blue Jays hat on, and I have the stupid Dominic Toretto shirt on that I always wear. So you can see me throughout like the whole episode. It's so funny. Yeah, you can see my sister sometimes too because she was right next to me, but there was like. Oh, there's a dude that's holding up like a sign. I don't know what the hell it said, like FTJ or something. It was something stupid. It was right in front. But sometimes when he holds that sign up, I'm like directly behind that sign. So I'm like, that was Friday night. So that was really cool. We were like, oh man, I hope this happens again tomorrow, for Money in the Bank. We're not near anybody who's screaming. We're not near anybody who's like being insane. So it was like super enjoyable, probably the most enjoyable time we've had yet. Then on Saturday night, we go down there and our seats are our regular seats. They kind of like make that.
Oh, they unzip tied them?
Yeah, they unzip tied them, but then the row in front of us, those seats are completely gone, and it's like a scaffolding thing. So it's super weird.
Huh.
Yeah, it was it was weird, and so we had like it was weird, but it was kind of nice because we could all put our stuff on this like scaffold thing. So it was like we had like a table basically. So we're sitting there and the show starts and this dude and his son come down and they're like motioning to me and my sister because we're on the end. We're like right next to the stairs. He's like motioning to us to like get up so he can get in. And so we stand up and he takes our seats and we're like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he shows me this thing and it's seats 8 and 9 and I'm like, that's what we have. And mine says row 3, which is the row we're in. His says row 2. So he's supposed to be down a row, but that row is gone. And so I'm like, this other like guy comes over and he's trying to figure this out for this guy. And he must be on the floor talking to this dude. You can see that like just by this dude's body language and like how frustrated the other people that were talking to him looked, that this dude's giving him a hard time. And they eventually, probably like a whole match into the show, they move him almost to exactly where we were the night before. But I think he might, instead of being row 1, he might have been like row 2 or 3. So he was up a little bit. But you could just see he was bitching the whole time. And it's like, dude, your seats are gone. Why are you giving these people such a hard time? Like, just take what they're giving you. And they're giving you a much better seat than where we were at. I guess the thing about his situation, I'm imagining, was that it was supposed to be 2 seats. So it would have been just him and his son in the row. And they would have been like really close to the entrance.
Yeah.
But it was still just so annoying because like, dude, get the hell out of here, go somewhere. Let's see.
That is crazy.
I think you can see me the most in the anytime they go to the wide shot. But the one I saw on Instagram where I saw myself was, the Jade Cargill match. Her and Bianca.
Oh, okay.
When they go to the interview, you'll see me directly in between them. And I'm holding up my phone because I didn't have a sign, which was my biggest mistake. Every time I've gone, I've brought a sign, and I've gotten on TV with my sign. I didn't bring a sign this time, and I'm in the prime location to be on TV. So I'm holding up my phone, and on Snapchat, I had just wrote out, Jade, give me a chance. And I'm standing there like this on my phone. But it's not big enough. Obviously, you can't see it. It's so far away.
Yeah.
But now I know better for next time, for sure.
Yeah.
But it was dope. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Wrestling is cool.
Did you do NXT as well, or just SmackDown and
the Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank.
We did not stay for NXT. We were going to, but then we were just so tired. Also, we don't know anything about. I don't know anything about NXT.
Oh yeah.
And so, a couple weeks ago when we went to AEW, it was the same situation. It was like, we don't know nothing about what's happening here. I don't know anything that's going on. From there,
into the show.
Yeah, 40 minutes in you'll definitely see me. Because this is where they're winning, they're talking, and then I'm directly in the middle of them, and you can see me holding up my phone right behind Bianca's head.
Okay, hang on.
And my sister is waving.
Let me see, I might have found it.
Oh, she was waving. She waves for like a split second. And you'll see the glare of my sister's glasses. Damn it, I wish I could just bring this up out here. But But that was like,
Yeah, I'll have to put it in post production.
yeah, put it in post. Editor, put it in post. There's a guy with a Toronto Raptors jersey on. It's like purple. And then right next to that dude is my sister, and then obviously me.
Oh, I can kind of see you, I think.
I have my hat, and I'm
I
holding
see
it.
you there.
I'm holding it like against my chest. Yeah. Dude, it was so ridiculous. I could not believe that they put us that fucking close. Like
That is really close, yeah.
that was probably the best. Like if you go to an event, I think those are probably the best seats you can get. Like obviously
Yeah.
front row is like would be insane. But I think for this show, the front row was like $700, $800. So unless you're like a super freak, a super fan, it doesn't really make sense. But if you're going and you just want to enjoy the whole thing, like that is the spot to be, because everyone there is like they're in it. You know, there's a guy behind me with a belt, and a $700 item. Like that is the spot to be, where all the real fans, if you will.
Yeah, that's cool.
But that was my wrestling update. I have not watched
Ricky's Wrestling Corner.
Yeah, in Rick's corner. I didn't watch this week's SmackDown yet. I'll watch it tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Yeah, for those who don't know, who listen to the podcast, I have a son. He's 2.5. His name's Jess.
Yep.
And whenever we record, I go, okay, I got to go record with Ricky. And so the other day, my wife goes, and she goes, I got to go make a phone call. And he goes, with Ricky?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was what before we started recording, my wife came in and she goes, did you tell Ricky yet? And that's the story.
Oh, that's so fun. That's so funny. What a pimp.
He just gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah. Other than that, I rewatched Jaws, I think, since we last recorded.
Oh.
Obviously really good.
Classic. Cult classic.
Oh, and then just speaking of Jess, he's gotten into Star Wars now.
Really?
Like he likes to watch the movies and stuff, and I have a bunch of, obviously you can't see it from this angle, but I got a bunch of the toys and stuff that he loves to play with.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so
I want to
cool.
watch Star Wars. It's so funny too, because we watched the first one, and he obviously isn't sitting all the way through these things yet.
Right.
Really.
Right.
But the first time, like the Tantive 4 and the Star Destroyer show up in A New Hope, he was just standing there with his mouth open. He's like, whoa. And then he sees the stormtroopers and he knows they're stormtroopers. He's like, stormtroopers! And different stuff like that. And then we were watching Return of the Jedi, and the Ewoks show up for the first time. And he's like, a raccoon! And then after that, he kept calling them bears, which is the more kind of traditional description.
Yeah.
I thought raccoon was very unique.
Raccoons. So did you watch all of them then?
We just watched the original trilogy.
Okay. What does he have a favorite one yet?
No, I don't think he knows the difference. I think he just thinks they're all Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we finished watching A New Hope, he looked at me and goes, "Here comes the next one." Without even really understanding it, he just somehow knew there was the next one.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that was special. Because obviously, if you go back to my passionate Rogue One episode, I very much do like Star Wars, so
Right.
that was pretty cool.
I think when I was a little kid, my favorite one was the third one because of the scout bike thing in the forest. Like I thought,
that's so cool. Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest fucking thing in the world. Yeah, and then the Ewoks I thought were super cool too for whatever reason because they're kind of creepy. Like they're kind of gross.
Yeah, when you think about it, like, my dad sent me this one meme, and it's like, how did the Ewoks have a dress that perfectly fit Princess Leia? Did they did they kill and eat a woman that was the exact same size as her? And it's like,
Ah,
as a child, you never think about those things, and it's like,
yeah.
oh no. Uh, how depraved is this actually under the surface?
What? Yeah, how would they even? When have they ever encountered other people, especially like other? Because you okay, maybe the stormtroopers or the scout troopers, but they're not like the same size as she
Right, they're not
was.
gonna be having a dress on like that. They're
Yeah,
gonna be in their
right.
uniforms. But you also see they have a drum set made of the helmets of the stormtroopers and scout troopers and stuff.
So they so they had been killing them for sure, or maybe just finding their
Well,
helmets.
they plan on eating Luke and Han and Chewie before they get C-3PO to stop them from eating them. So clearly they have the taste for human flesh.
Oh my god, I haven't watched that movie in so long. I might need to go back and rewatch that one.
They're so good. They're
Yeah.
so good. I think like cinematically the best is Empire Strikes Back,
Hmm.
but really they're all great. But I have a feeling Return of the Jedi is going to be his favorite at least for now.
Yeah. Return.
But
That's what's up.
yeah, that's what we've been watching lately. So should we enter the Matrix?
Oh yeah, let's get to it. Hold on. Whoop. There we go. Well, nope, that's not the right one. Here we go.
So I was going to do the joke bit of pulling up the list of all the fake credits at the beginning, and then I completely forgot until we started recording it.
Oh, the fake
I was
credits are
gonna
so
read
funny
through that.
too.
They're really funny. It was directed by one of the people that killed John Wick's dog.
Yep. Yep.
Because David Leitch also directed John Wick, Hobbs and Shaw, Bullet Train.
Didn't we
So
just
he's
talk
done a
about
lot of
him?
action stuff.
David
I
Leitch.
think, yeah, we were talking about because we were gonna do Deadpool, too. I think
Oh, okay.
that's why that got brought up. Um, it's written by Brett Reese, Paul Wernick, Ryan Reynolds. Um, let's see. It stars Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin, Marina. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher your last name. Barakin, however you pronounce it. Julian Dennison, Zazie Beetz, T.J. Miller, Brianna Hildebrand, and Jack Kessie. It was released in May 10th, 2018. Has a runtime of 119 minutes. Had a budget of $110 million. Ricky, can you guess the box office? I would not have guessed it is where it was at for this movie.
The budget was 100 something, 110.
110 million. How much do you think it made?
Think it made more than the first one. And the first one was like 7 something. I'm gonna say it made 850.
Little high. It made 785.8 million.
Damn it!
I don't remember it making that much, but when I first saw this in theaters, I was late in the run to it.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks in by the time I'd seen it, so the theater wasn't really packed.
Hmm.
So I didn't remember it being the huge hit it was.
I think I saw it twice because I think the first time we saw it, I saw it with like either by myself or with somebody else, and then the sec.
Like before the fall.
What the hell?
What?
What the hell was that?
My music started playing for whatever reason. I'm gonna take my Apple Watch off. I must have bumped something. And it just randomly started playing music. Jeez.
So
I
scary.
felt my watch vibrate and I'm like, oh, did somebody text me? And then I looked
Yeah.
and nobody texted me. I must have just accidentally.
The second time I saw the movie, it was like with my friends, and there was like, I remember there being not a lot of people in there, but there were people in there, and that was like more later into the run as well. And there was a guy like 2 or 3 rows ahead of me who after every fucking joke would repeat it. Like, after everything Deadpool would say, this dude would, like, haha, and then he would, like, repeat it, like, out loud. And we were like, will you shut the fuck up, dude? Like, of all the times I've been to the movie theaters where I can remember somebody being, like blatantly annoying was that guy. And then when I saw Batman v Superman in Brockport.
It's somebody really annoying in my Batman v Superman screening as well.
What? Maybe we were at the same one.
No, I went to Geneseo. There was some like 12-year-old kid, I think it was, who couldn't be like more interested in the movie. He was just on his phone. He was like in a couple rows in front of us. I'm like, dude, don't come to the Thursday night screening of Batman v Superman if you're gonna be on your goddamn phone. That is my biggest pet peeve. Don't go to the movie theater and play on your phone.
Yeah, that is also very annoying. No,
that's what happened when I.
Oh no, go ahead. What happened?
I was just gonna say that's what happened when I saw Black Widow. Is somebody? It was probably like most of the way through the movie. Somebody comes in, sits down, plays on their phone, and then leaves before it ends. I was like, what the fuck?
Why bother?
Yeah, I was the only person in the theater, and they came in and did that. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. No, our guy at Batman v Superman, it was in Brockport. So the theater had just been like kind of renovated. Like I think they had just put in digital projection. And so I was like, oh cool, let's go check it out because it's like a new thing. I mean, for this theater because it's kind of like historic looking and like it doesn't have recliners. It's got the old stadium seating.
Yeah.
Same situation. He's like 2 or 3 rows ahead of me, and he's like this with his arm around the thing, and he's sitting kind of sideways, and he's talking to a guy that's behind us, and and he's got a 6-pack of beer. Like he brought a thing of beer in. And so he's just cracking.
How did he bring that in?
It was like in the early afternoon. Like it wasn't like the first showing of the day, but it was like early in the afternoon, and he's just
somewhere.
Yeah, he's just fucking cracking his beer, and he's turned around talking to the dude behind us, and we're like, again, like what the fuck, man? Just go sit in the fucking back. I remember when you would, like, if you were going to go to the movie theaters to do, like, devious things, you sat in the way back. But they were just, like, I don't know, dead center in the fucking middle of the theater. Like, come on. Oh, it pissed me off so bad, dude. It just drove... the two worst experiences I think I've ever had in the theater.
Yeah. Oh, so this isn't to any theater goer, but when I saw Killers of the Flower Moon, it was at the point when so I saw it in theaters, and it was at the point when like the moms died and it's all silent.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there in the theater, and you can just hear the other screen over is playing like Saw X, and you just hear come on.
Oh no. That's like such an impactful moment too, because it's silent for a fucking reason.
Yeah, there's no sound. Like you could hit in the theater, you probably could hear a pin drop, and it's just you hear Saw X through the wall. Somebody getting horribly mutilated.
Holy shit, that's
like Jesus.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my god, that's funny. You haven't been to an Alamo Draft House yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh my!
Newly acquired by Sony.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got bought by Sony a month ago or so.
Oh, hopefully that means they're gonna put them everywhere.
It'd be nice, yeah. We'll see how it turns out for them, but
yeah, hopefully they get put everywhere because that's like their biggest thing about like throughout the whole fucking thing. Like the beginning of the movie, they don't play trailers. They play like a little featurette thing, and it's like kind of giving you the history of also how mine was. It was like I went and saw Shang-Chi, and it was like giving the history of like kung fu like action movies and kind of
that's cool.
Yeah, and like it's like really well done, and it's like a YouTube video that like the people on YouTube that really put their fucking like heart and soul into these like videos. Yeah,
like all those yeah.
It was kind of like that, but like obviously a bigger production, like somebody with a budget, I guess.
Yeah.
But they kind of give you like a little history about like kung fu and like how it came to be and like how it plays into culture and like how it's being used, like how it might be used in this movie. But before that and even after that, it's like, don't use your phone, don't talk in the theater. Like all throughout the place, it's telling you not to do these things, because they'll just straight up kick you out.
Yeah.
Which is like, hell yeah, this is awesome. Like this is why I loved it. That was like my favorite experience. There's one in Boston that just opened, and when I was gonna go to Boston a couple weeks ago, my plan was to go there, but I got sick and I couldn't go. R.I.P.
Oh man.
R.I.P. to my fun.
Not like you just went to Toronto or anything.
That was well, I had like 6 weeks where every like 2 weeks in between that I was doing something.
Yeah.
And it was like dead center in the middle where I got sick. I was like, fuckers. My summer tour was over. Is that it? Is that all we got for the
last thing before I forget is this: we are currently doing What Are We, Some Kind of Suicide Squad, which is our miniseries about a ragtag group of characters on a quest that's impossible. So anyways, that is what series we're in. You can go back and listen to all the previous episodes where we go through. And as well as this is on Disney Plus right now. If you make sure your settings are 18 plus, so you can actually watch it, because Disney Plus, you have to actually set your account to be able to do that.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you just straight up go onto Disney Plus, it'll just be everything's like PG-13 or less.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like with Hulu and stuff like that, it's so funny because they have Hulu baked into Disney Plus if you do the bundle.
Yeah.
And I go and I booted up the other day, and it opens with Disney Plus, and the first thing on that screen is the first Exorcist. I'm like, this is weird on Disney Plus. It was like the first Exorcist, and then it scrolled, and then it was like Poor Things. It's like,
yeah,
this is just a totally different experience than anybody else who's doing this.
Oh man. Yeah, when I turned mine on, I didn't realize that you needed to do that 18 plus, or the adult thing. So mine is just all Disney stuff still. Because I did see people kind of online like complaining about, or like making memes about, you can watch Saw on Disney or whatever.
Yep, I've seen that one on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff will pop up.
Let's do. We gotta do that. Okay, you want to move on to the good? Oh shit! What am I doing?
Yeah, we can move on.
I'm pressing all the wrong buttons.
What are you doing?
Pressing the wrong buttons. All right, the good. What did you enjoy about this picture? About this talk?
Well, obviously, we already mentioned all the opening credits, all the funny names they gave everybody, which they did in the first one. And I really like the Deadpool James Bond opening.
Yeah,
that accompanies that too. That's really cool. And that whole beginning chunk before that too, I think is really amazing. I love the montage to 9 to 5 as he's like working, but he's an assassin, so he's going through and stuff like that. Probably one of the jokes that kills me the most is when he's like in the bathhouse and he lifts up the thing to clean his eyes. He goes, "Scoutmaster Kevin."
Oh.
That's just my depraved sense of humor, though, that I find that funny.
The humor in the movie was like the one thing that I was like the most afraid of. I was like, this is gonna be my bad, I think, before I watched it, because I watched the first one 2 nights ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't rewatch Deadpool 1 before I watched Deadpool 2.
So yes, I rewatched Deadpool 1, and I was like, some of the jokes in there are like, they still hit. Some of them are more like, it's a little cringy, and it might be because I've seen it so many times, or just the times they are changing.
Yeah, the first movie is 8 years old.
Yeah. So I don't. Something about it was just kind of cringy to me. So I was like the most nervous about because I haven't watched Deadpool 2 in a while. So I was like the most nervous about about the jokes, and there was only like even the one I was the most like I was the most worried about the dubstep one because I remember when I went to like when it came out, dubstep was kind of like already over. Like people were kind of like already moving past it. So I remember it being like, oh, this seems a little like this joke is already kind of dated and weird. Like this would
I
have
think that's what makes it. I think that's what makes that joke work, though. Is Deadpool is still very much into dubstep.
Yeah, I was like, this joke really would have killed like a year or two ago. And so, oh shit. I'm thinking that like this isn't gonna be funny, but then when it gets to it, and Josh Brolin's like dubstep's for pussies, it was so fucking funny to me, and I was like, oh, this is actually hilarious because it's now we're so far removed from dubstep. Like, I'm sure there are people out there who still listen to it. God bless your souls, but nobody else cares about it anymore. So
yeah, I probably forgot about it until they made the dubstep joke. I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, like that was funny. But that was like my biggest worry about it. Everything else though, dude, this movie's great.
Yeah, like I said, I know on the last podcast I talked about, I'm like, yeah, I've only seen that movie like once or twice. But then in rewatching it, I was like, oh, I've seen this opening montage like more than that because I'm sure I've gone to YouTube and just watched that clip over and over and over again. Because that's just such a fun sequence.
It's really really well done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping
there's
they
so
do
many
one.
funny jokes.
I'm hoping they do another one for. They have to do another one for Deadpool 3, right? Because they did one in. Did they do one in the first one? I can't remember.
They did.
Oh, it was like a slow motion thing. It was like a slow motion through the
giant
through the car. That's what it was.
I imagine we're gonna get some kind of depressed Deadpool montage at the beginning of the next one.
You think so?
Well, it's because he's not. Wait, hang on a second. Oh no, his. So I was trying to think, but yeah, like because him and Vanessa aren't together in that one, and he's like a car salesman. Because in the trailer, it's like they're at his birthday party and he's very depressed and stuff like that before the TVA come and get him.
Oh, okay. I've only seen the trailer maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm trying to stay away from it because I want to be like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the trailers spoil. I know I've said this before. The trailers spoil everything. And my point has been proven. If you go and don't watch it, but just know that it happens, the fucking trailer for Gladiator 2 that just got released. It looks like they gave away the ending at the end of the trailer.
Well, I thought that too, and then I rewatched it, and it's not Pedro Pascal that he's like.
Okay, I'm like, dude, I'm not watching this. I watched it one time, and I was so angry.
I rewatched it, and it was like a blonde guy because I thought I had that same reaction the first time I watched that trailer too, where I'm like,
yeah,
you got to be kidding me. But yeah, I think it's like a blonde,
somebody
like
else,
a blonde or a dirty blonde guy.
Yeah,
because Pedro Pascal's got the dark brown hair.
All right, well,
so I think it was somebody else.
Well,
that trailer's insane,
dude. The trailer looks fucking cool.
Just a segue for a moment.
Yeah,
insane.
Oh yeah.
Well, whatever Joseph Quinn and that other guy are doing is just insane.
The red-haired guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look scary.
They give me strong Buffalo Bill vibes. Because the guy like has his coat, he's like, yeah, or whatever.
The ship battle in the Coliseum is like the coolest thing.
It's gonna be so cool because there's sharks in the water and everything.
Yeah, how the hell did they get the sharks in the water?
I don't know.
How are people capturing sharks back then? I mean, I don't doubt that they couldn't do it, but I'm curious to know how.
that is definitely a great question that I hadn't thought of before. I was just like, yeah, they have sharks there. But that's a good point. How are they capturing, transporting these
Yeah.
sharks so they stay alive and are able to like just devour these? Unless they're getting like baby sharks and then putting them in there.
Oh, that would probably be the easiest way. I can't. Yeah, they're not going out into. They're not wading out into the water with a giant net to snatch up a full-grown shark.
You never know. But that movie looks like it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
The only thing I didn't like was the when they went to the Jay-Z and Kanye West song at the end.
Oh,
It's like, no,
yeah,
get
yeah.
that out of here.
I, yeah.
I understand why that particular song's in there, but I'm like, no, just give us the score because I saw somebody recut the trailer with the whole score in it,
Uh huh.
and it's so much better. It's like a tighter trailer too. It's really good.
I gotta watch that trailer then because that sounds cool. I like that song. Don't get me wrong, but same thing with the dubstep shit. Like, fucking Kanye's out, dude. Nobody gives a shit about
Yeah.
Kanye West no more. Like, he's fucked himself. So like, this like
Well,
stop using the shit.
Yeah, I don't know if this is true or not, but there's like a list of like these people have rap songs in Gladiator 2, and I don't know if it's real or not. I
What?
saw it on Twitter somewhere. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it was like these artists have songs that are gonna appear in Gladiator 2, and I'm like, oh God, no.
Oh no.
Don't do that. You didn't do anything like that for the first Gladiator
Yeah,
movie.
right. And
Don't do it here.
you definitely don't need to do that either, because it looks cool as like its own like as a like not historical but period piece. Like,
Yeah, they have this huge epic coliseum and everything. Like, you don't need to do anything more to sell this movie.
right.
Like, you don't need to put hip hop in it and
Trying to appeal to the
do
younger
that.
audience with hip hop.
Right. It's Paul Mescal and Denzel Washington with like in ancient Rome in a coliseum, and he's fighting a goddamn rhino. You do not need
Yeah. Oh my God, the rhino.
hip hop music in that.
All right, let's go back to the other movie we were watching.
Can we just go watch the other one instead?
Yeah, we should
Instead?
watch the other one. We should watch the trailer for Gladiator 2. Man, it just I was so bummed when I saw that trailer. 'Cause I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, it is a different one. Um,
They're like worshiping Maximus, which is so cool. He's got like a little shrine. They see like the little kid sees him die or sees him in the Coliseum and he's like, "Oh, I want to
mhm,
be him one day." And they're like,
mhm.
"Little boy, you can be." And so Denzel's like he's talking to him and he goes, "I got you, bro. You're going to be the guy who does it." I think they played the song throughout the whole thing. I got to turn the volume up on this real quick.
The greatest temple.
So for that trailer too,
Yeah.
so I have the Wikipedia up for Gladiator 2. And it says the first trailer used "No Church in the Wild" by Jay-Z and Kanye West, which caused a backlash among film fans. Some attempt to justify the choice of music cited the Super Bowl whatever trailer for the first Gladiator, which you had used "Ball with da Ball" by Kid Rock.
Oh. See, you got to be so tapped into trailers to remember that.
Yeah, how would you even like pull
'Cause-
that out of your ass?
Yeah, to remember that and be like, "Oh, they're like nodding at the first trailer." It's a cool. I mean, now that it's out and we all know that, like that's cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting fact.
Yeah. But just
But
to
I didn't.
do it, nobody
Yeah.
do that.
No. Well, that just makes me think of the Great Gatsby
Oh
movie
my
they
God.
did, where they used Church of the Wild in that,
Mhm.
and in like a bunch of hip hop music.
I remember thinking that movie was so cool when I saw it, and then I watched it again earlier this year, and I was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this got made. Because it's the same dude that did the Elvis movie, which is like
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann.
fucking insane. Just absolutely insane.
Hmm.
My God, is it insane?
Anyways,
Yeah,
now
anyways.
that we're over our
Yeah, let's get over
segue.
Gladiator is fucking cool. Everybody knows it. All right, yeah, back to the movie.
Yeah. So for the good, I also have. I really like the Deadpool's whole like arc in this movie
Hmm.
about how he's how you can find family and that kind of stuff and find redemption and people can change if you give them the chance and whatnot. And I think that's all like especially for like as twisted as a character as Deadpool is, I think it's a cool story to kind of pursue. And it's a good way to bring Cable in as well as Fire Fist and um, have that kind of triangle going throughout the movie.
Yeah, dude, Cable's great, and also
Josh
Domino's.
Brolin is perfect casting as Cable.
Hmm. I didn't when I first saw it. I was like, "Oh, I know who Cable is. Like, I get it. Like, I know the character's name, and I know that he's got like a bionic arm and he can travel through time and shit." But after
Yeah.
watching like X-Men '97, like obviously I have a little bit more of like a understanding of him and like
Hmm.
who I guess I didn't really know before that his dad was Cyclops and his mom was Jean Grey's clone.
Hmm.
uh but I get it now, and so I feel like I appreciate him more. But also this the fucking he calls him Thanos at one point, which is fucking
Yeah.
funny. There's so
Hmm.
I think some of the biggest laughs for me out of it were like him calling him Thanos, him saying dubstep was for pussies. The part where he gets thrown into the school, Deadpool gets thrown into the school,
Hmm.
and he picks up that box and the cereal box and he signs it Ryan Reynolds. Like,
Oh, he does?
yeah, he's like, I'm an X-Men, and that kid's like trainee, and he signs the box Ryan Reynolds, slams it down, and jumps out the window.
I didn't know he'd signed it Ryan Reynolds. That's hysterical.
I don't know, like something about that was so fucking funny to me.
It is because it's just this little kid just shit talking Deadpool.
Yeah,
He's like, "You loser, this mass murderer who carries guns and swords." This little kid's just like, "You suck."
he is a mass murderer. I think
I,
my favorite part of the whole thing is just that X-Force jumping on the plane scene. Like
it's so funny.
dude, the build up to it, everything. Like how many times they mention that there's a wind advisory, and like when you're watching it, you're just blowing it off. Like you're not even thinking about it. You don't care because you're seeing
Yeah,
that like the team is coming together, and you're like, oh, this is much more exciting than them bringing up the fucking wind. Why do they keep bringing up the wind? And then
yeah.
it all plays out, and it's like this is incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
I remember when I saw it in theaters, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Hmm. I'm pretty sure that
Just
was like the biggest thing that stuck with me. Like that was
yeah,
the main focus of the movie. It was like, oh my god, wait till you get to this X-Force scene. You're gonna
yeah. That scene is just outstanding.
Mhm. Oh, it's the fucking best.
Um, some of my other favorite jokes too that you didn't mention earlier were, I love the where they're in the prison and Deadpool and Cable are fighting. And he goes, "You're so dark. You should be in the DC universe."
When
That one was good,
I
and
thought
then
that he
the
was for like a split second, I thought that he was in the DC universe.
he played Jonah Hex in that
Oh, that when like
movie they
so like a
from
desert or something. They're like the Wild
yeah
West.
he's like a zombie cowboy kind of dude. He's got like a huge scar on his face. He's in that. I
Okay,
don't think he's in anything else DC off the top of my head. Could be wrong.
Josh Brolin, what a guy.
Yeah. Um, and then the two caped badasses joke at the very beginning, where he's like, "Then I found out her name was Martha too."
Oh, when he's coming in,
He
telling
gets
her,
back and he's making all the excuses.
yeah.
I also really like the showing like what happens to Deadpool when he dies and then regenerates.
Hmm.
I thought that whole thing was cool where he would drop down into the pool, be in the heaven apartment,
Yep.
and then get sucked back up. And that happening over and over again was cool. Um, hmm.
Doesn't him going back in time to save Vanessa the first time,
Hmm.
like at the end of the movie when he goes to like that, that's in the end credits, right?
Yeah, that's the end
Yeah.
credits where he does that. He kills himself before he does Green Lantern. He
he
kills
kills he
Deadpool
kills
from X-Men
himself.
Origins.
He kills himself as the other Deadpool. Kills himself as Ryan Reynolds. But him saving her, like him throwing the cheese spreader,
Hmm.
wouldn't that have negated the whole movie? Because the whole reason
Yes.
why the whole reason why he's trying to put his heart in the right place and save the kid is so that he can be with, like, because Ghost Vanessa told him to. But if he saves
Yeah.
her, then you would imagine that life for them, his life just totally changes. It doesn't go down the path that it did.
Right.
So
I'm wondering.
when they,
I have
yeah, go ahead.
I have to assume that's where the TVA come in Deadpool and Wolverine,
Mm-hmm.
where they pop up and they're like, "Hey, you fucked this up big time," and just take him away.
Because now I can see how the pieces fall together with the TVA stuff like fucking perfectly. Like obviously
Hmm.
they weren't, when they made the movie, they didn't know that this stuff was going to be a thing. 5-6 years
Hmm.
later, or whatever, however long it's been.
Yeah, 6 years.
Or maybe they did know that it was going to be, hey, like down the pipeline, this is what we're looking at. I don't know,
Hmm.
but it does
Yeah, I don't
fit.
think.
It fits the current Marvel stuff fucking perfectly.
Hmm. Yeah, because now everybody everywhere in whatever franchise is time traveling and just screwing everything up.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Um, there was something else I had, but I really like the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was really good in this.
Oh yeah, soundtrack's great. Yeah.
And especially every time they talk about dubstep, it's just the same song.
It's the same song, yeah.
It's just bangerang over and over again,
It's the same song.
which just makes that bit even funnier.
Oh, it's so I get it. It's funnier now than it was then. IMO.
Hmm.
Uh
I agree with that, especially just because of how irrelevant dubstep has become.
yeah.
It's like, of course, this idiot loves dubstep. He's still ride or die with dubstep.
Yeah. Oh man. What else did I really enjoy about the movie?
Um.
Oh, the X-Men cameo. That was funny.
Oh, I did have that too. Yeah, that's funny. And then the whole thing where he's driving through in the wheelchair and then he has Cerebro on.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, that's not how Cerebro works. And Deadpool says it again.
Just him playing around with that stuff is fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's very fun stuff. Do you want to move on to the bad? Do you have anything for the bad?
I do have a couple things.
All right, let's go. I think I also have
Uh,
like two things that I didn't enjoy.
so I was trying to pinpoint it because I definitely don't have as much fun. Well, I like the first Deadpool better, I think,
Mm-hmm.
on the sheer fact that this one just feels like they overstuffed it. And it took me
Okay.
a while to figure that out, but I feel like there's almost too many characters.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Which
Yeah.
there's so much going on. Like I think it's great that X-Force shows up and then just all gets obliterated. Um, but I really strongly feel that Domino is not essential to this movie. And if you took Domino out, it would be less bloated.
I could see that. Yeah, because she's only really there to help to like steer the truck. She like gets in there, steers the truck. That could have been Dopinder or
Yeah.
somebody who's already like established, like one of the X-Men, like Colossus, or they could have easily swapped her out. But I think they needed her for that X-Force And then also maybe they're bringing her back for the next one.
I don't remember. Like I have nothing against Zazie Beetz. She's really
Yeah.
good in the role, and I really like the stuff I've seen her in. It's just the in terms of the writing of the story, I felt like it just tried to overstuff it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to have Cable in it, you have to have Fire Fist, you have Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and you have is it Yukio,
Yeah.
your girlfriend? Blind Al, Weasel, Dopinder, and then you have Domino, and then the other X-Force members.
There's
That's
fucking five of
eight.
them.
That's eight before you get to the X-Force members, including Domino.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many characters in this movie, and it's just kind of yeah. I think Domino's power is very cinematic, but again, I wish they would have done it when they could have focused on it instead of trying to be like make this movie more.
Yeah. I
Um,
I could see it being. Did the other Marvel movies where they're like the Avenger movies come out around the same time? Because like those are jam packed with every fucking character.
this is Infinity War's year. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe
This
they
is
were
when
trying
Infinity
to
War came out.
like compete with that. They're like, oh, the audiences love when there's like a million characters because like look how they went crazy for all the Avenger
It's
guys.
probably yeah. I could definitely see that happening. Um, yeah, I like Deadpool as I think a solo character
Okay. Yeah,
is my thing too.
him and like one other person, like somebody
Like when
who's
him and Colossus are doing shit,
yeah,
or him and Blind Al, or
or
whoever else,
Weasel.
Dopinder,
Yeah.
Weasel,
He
yeah,
is a lot. He does have a lot to do with like one on ones. He's got a good. He's very good with like one other person because they just bounce off of each other.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. Is there a situation? I feel like the only time you really see them all together is like when they're walking up. Like when they're
yeah,
walking up to the
full
ship in
final
the first
battle.
one. Yeah, they're walking up to the house in this one. Um, or when they're all in
Yeah,
that one
there's
room at Blind Dale's house. That was funny.
that was funny, yeah, yeah. That's just I don't. That's the I've tried to put a better kind of try to figure it out like more elaborately than that.
Yeah.
But that was kind of my whole conclusion because I just think Deadpool by himself in like one on one where he's just quipping the whole time is really good. Whereas like in this one in that final battle you have everybody else quipping and like they're shoving like the electric thing in Juggernaut's ass and like it's like I guess it's cool to see Colossus and Juggernaut fight, but he's fighting like Deadpool. He's not fighting like Colossus.
Right.
That was kind of my
It's an interesting thought.
because that's my thing towards the ending of the film is that like Deadpool could have definitely gone through and done all the stuff Domino did when
Oh
she was like fighting all the workers and stuff like
to
that.
save the
And,
kids.
yeah, there's stuff that could have been done differently. Um, yeah, I don't know. Because there was a reason I wasn't a huge fan of this movie, and I think that was it, and why I've seen the beginning so many times versus the rest of the movie.
Okay. Okay. I think
Which
my
is still like
sorry.
a fun movie, but sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. It's still a fun movie, but it's just if I feel like Deadpool's just much better by himself.
one on one. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. We'll see in the next one. How?
Yeah, I
If
watched Deadpool 2 and I was like, it made me slightly worried because I'm like, is this gonna work?
yeah, they're gonna put him with so many fucking people, dude. It's gonna it's gonna be insane. I think my two gripes, and they're again nitpicky. It's always nitpicky. Some of the CGI in this one looked fucking
Yes.
weird.
I
There-
had that too.
There was like one shot where Josh Brolin, he's just straight up on a green screen. Like they didn't even try. Like
Hmm.
it just looks so bizarre. And then the one that was the first one that I noticed. The second one that really stood out was like when Domino is running through the city after she lands the X-Force thing. And
Hmm.
it is cool. Like the idea, I think her
It is,
idea is like super cool. Like, she everything around her is she has the best luck.
yeah.
But the way that
That's
it
just the most glaring.
yeah,
Yeah.
the way that it looked was so fucking weird. And then it was weird to me. Then
Yeah, because you get Deadpool actually riding around on the scooter through the city, and then you get the CGI
yeah,
version of what you're seeing, and it's very disorienting.
it was just weird. On the last fight, the Colossus, or not even Colossus, it was Juggernaut first.
Hmm.
He comes he comes in to fight the gang or whatever before Colossus
Hmm.
shows up. And that looked
Hmm.
super weird on my TV too. I think it might be, I don't know, something about it was like video
No, it
game.
definitely looked. It looked. It doesn't look like it's real. Like, obviously, there's a giant monster human being and a metal man. It's not going to look real,
Yeah,
but
right.
it looks like it's like CGI jelly.
Something about it, like I don't, maybe the frame rate is higher or something, because it goes from believable to like, oh, this looks like a video game. Like something about this looks
Hmm.
totally different. Um, but that was like that's my main one, is just some of those shots and scenes look very strange to me.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah.
other one would be my other gripe would be some of Russell's lines, or Fire Fist's his lines seem weird. Like they they just seem so like I get
You didn't like his
he's
prison wallet?
that one was fine. That one wasn't the one that bothered me. It's like toward the end he says like it's good to be a gangster or something, and then
Uh
he
huh.
says like, all the times he's saying say my name. It just seems weird to me. I don't know any
Hmm.
child that would say child. Me as a child would say some weird shit, but like I don't think it would
You
come
wouldn't
off
be
like
Fire
that.
Fist?
I don't think it would be as weird as Fire Fist. Maybe it's just the way he says it. That kid, he's good everywhere else. Like I think he's good throughout the movie. I just think some of his
Hmm.
lines were like strange.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think that's part of it.
But other than that, I that's my literal only two problems.
Yeah, mine's just personal preference.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's like you said, like that stuff does work like certain points in the movie. Like it is a cool idea that Domino's like has all this stuff falling around her and she's just missing all of it
Yeah.
and all these kinds of things. I just for whatever reason, for me, I just wish it was a little tighter because it just feels jam packed, which is fine. And I'm sure if you go Deadpool 1 to Deadpool 2, it kind of ups the ante.
Yeah.
But jumping right to Deadpool 2, I think it is a little overwhelming.
That's definitely a good way of putting it, because in the first one it is pretty much like one on one, or it's him and Colossus and Negasonic. Like there isn't a lot of not filler, well, kind of filler stuff. There isn't a lot of like bloat to it, like because the budget was so small. And then
Mm.
this one is like twice the budget.
Yeah, this one had 110 million.
Yeah, the first one I think had like 50 or something. So you could see
Yeah,
where they
if
took that
that.
money and were like, oh, we can add a shit ton of more people. Uh,
Hmm.
so watching 1 to 2, you can definitely see that progression of like, oh, this is where the money went.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of think the third one is gonna be there's gonna be a they got Marvel money now. Like who know? You know what I mean? They got
Yeah.
Disney Marvel money. What's that gonna look like?
Well, we already in the trailer saw a giant Ant-Man corpse.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, it's just gonna be balls to the wall on that one. Yeah, because looking it up, the first one had, yeah, $58 million budget. So,
Crazy. All right. Do you want to
yeah.
go to the ugly? Do you have anything prepped for the ugly?
I do have some stuff prepped for the ugly.
All right.
You can still see me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me get mine pulled up so I can read it. I have a couple different ones. So one of the half-star reviews is from Castrome. It says, the guy that loves this movie has the most miserable girlfriend ever. Um, let's see. That's all for that one. Let me do my other one because I took some screenshots.
I'm reading this is from the Gladiator 2 trailer on YouTube. It's got 6.6 thousand thumbs up. 3 days ago. Whoever put that song in the trailer needs to be sent to the arena with lions. Guys, it was an homage to the first one.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, everybody knows that.
Yeah, Jesus. And so my other ugly review is from Hendrix83. It says, absolutely 100% the worst film I've watched in my life. The real victim here is Wrexham. Half a star better than Deadwood 1. Is there a Deadwood 3? Brad Pitt was just phenomenal as per! Exclamation point.
What?
I think they watched the wrong movie because they might be confused because Deadwood is a cowboy show, and then they get to the one with the crass talking comic book hero and his cyborg friend, and then get very confused.
What the?
So I think that's what happened there.
What? All right, we'll take it. Letterboxd, always the best. All right.
Yeah, always something special coming out of Letterboxd.
All right, let's wrap her up. What do we got? What do we got for next week? Oh, first and foremost, is this a Suicide Squad?
I mean, the team all dies.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say. Thinking it even more so than the actual Suicide Squad. I believe this is a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, more of James. I'd be curious to see numbers on James Gunn's Suicide Squad versus this Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
To see who more of them die.
Because they all died, but he does go back in time to save one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still they're all dead. They all knew better.
Mm-hmm. So next week's episode, I had to move the schedule around and didn't exactly figure out the episode we're doing, but I think this light. Oh yeah. Oh no, we are back on track.
Nice.
I don't know why Deadpool 2 is so late on the schedule. I'll have to move that around. Because it's coming out whenever people are listening to this. But next week we will watch Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Is that the first one?
That is the first one with The Rock.
Hell yeah. I saw that in theaters and I loved it, and I have not watched it since.
Right now, for those at home, it is streaming on Hulu. If you still have cable television for whatever reason, it is on FX now.
Ooh.
But yeah, that will be our next movie in What Are We, Some Kind of Suicide Squad?
What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? All right, that's beautiful. Well, I'm excited
So
Jumanji.
So that's been this week's episode of Now Available. Until next time, please subscribe, like, share, tell your brother, sister, mother, father, child about this show. Let them know we're out here doing the Lord's work. And we'll be back next time with more. Just more.
There's always more. All right, goodbye, everybody.